Yowza. Yowza, yowza, yowza. Wow, man. Looked like winter kicked in or something a little bit last week, don't it, Andy? Man, I shoveled for like 3 days straight. But really, if you're from Montana, last week was just like a little false alarm. It was a false alarm. Winter isn't here. That was like the dusting kind of, let's get a few stragglers out. And it's obvious, what, 40s, mid-40s, low 50s this week? Yeah. So, you know, it was like beautiful this morning, and it's early when we get here, and it was, you know, had a truck plugged in, annoyed with the snow. Good morning! It is Rocktober 30th. 2 days left of Rocktober, which means we're about over with Rocktober. We had September, Rocktober. Got a suggestion for November? Tomorrow night is Halloween, so boo! Happy Halloween. And seeing that it's Rocktober 30th, Andy, that means one thing, and you got it up here already. It's National Mischief Night, which is defined by the thing you got here as a day to have some pranks, you know, on the people that are around you. Yeah. Being from Detroit, that doesn't seem right, you know. First of all, it wasn't National Prank Day or something like that growing up in Detroit. I remember it explicitly. It was called Devil's Night. Tonight is Devil's Night in Detroit. Okay, and we were mischievous, sure, you know, you'd soap windows. You know, you bar soap, put stuff on windows. If you really didn't like them, you waxed the windows, because then they had to come out and get it off. We would TP the house, TP the tree, their car, things like that. Did blow off M80s. They were legal at the time. We would save them up from 4th of July and blow them up on Devil's Night, specifically in garbage cans and or mailboxes. Is there a statute of limitation on that, Andy? But somewhere along the way in Detroit, the innocence of mischievous and Devil's Night seemed to go by the wayside. It became more of, you know, let's instead of blowing up trash cans, we'll just light them on fire. As you have read, Detroit, a lot of house fires. A lot. Understatement. There's a lot of house fires. That was part of Devil's Night. They were like burned. When I came here from Detroit to Missoula, I was in high school. And my first Halloween was in high school. And Mike Painter, wasn't it? Was I here in the fall before high school? Anyway, I was like, yeah, let's go out and do Devil's Night, you know. And they're like, say what? What is that? You know, we're going to go out and, like, trash people's yards. And trashing back then was was it Ken Kesey, Andy, or was it a Hunter Thompson? Trashing was to take a garbage can from the alley and throw it into the neighbor's yard or the neighborhood yard, and hopefully that garbage can would land like upright, so it'd like just be sitting there. a lot of times mistakes were made. But anyway, everybody's like, Mike, what are you talking about? Pipewrench, what the hell? What's going on with the whole Devil's Night? And I'm like, burn, baby, burn! I'll show you. Detroit, yeah. So tomorrow's Halloween. Today's Devil's Day. We didn't have Devil's Day, we had Devil's Night. Even the teachers and everybody knew about it. Mom knew about it. Mom, we're going out for Devil's Night. No, that's okay, you kids. Have fun soaping windows. Well, let's do my mom's first. She can't get no respect. But tomorrow's Halloween, so everybody be safe. It should be a little nicer tomorrow. We're talking 40s. 40s today and tomorrow. High 30s today, 40s tomorrow. 50s by Wednesday. So there's many kids. When I was younger, everybody was like, let's go, it's Halloween, everybody. Old people, young people. Feel all right on a warm San Francisco night. But yeah, everybody go out. Halloween was for everyone. And it wasn't a big bar thing yet either. It just wasn't. Of course, maybe people were at the bars at Halloween after we, trashed their backyard, soaped their windows, and burned their mailbox. Is there a statue right us there? Okay. Speaking of burning, got it right there. Burn, baby, burn. And then the Middle East is the hot spot. So we went from Devil's Night burning to burning in the Middle East, just boom. But I mean, seriously, that's the hot spot right now. I'm not seeing as much Ukraine stuff, I'm seeing more Middle Eastern stuff. All right, Andy? Is that, I might, okay. When we're going to, just bear with me now. When President Biden went on TV 2 weeks ago, from the Oval Office and everything, he's at the Oval Office. Yeah, I'm at the Oval Office, and Biden. He had to reassure the nation that he would do everything in his power to make sure that the horrific terror attack on Israel would not lead to similar attacks on the U.S. soil. No, wait, he didn't say that. Sorry, that's a joke. Actually, what he said was the Hamas attack should prompt additional U.S. spending for the Ukrainians against the Russian forces. I got you there, Andy. You thought he said, but he didn't. Not a word was said by the president about protecting the homeland against immediate threats, call it, of terrorism emanating from the Middle East. We're seeing it, This is somewhat worrisome, I'm thinking. Because it indicates to me, at least to me, that such attacks might not be at the top of the mind of those that are in charge of keeping us safe. Really? I'm saying. It seems like those in charge are offering, we got thoughts and prayers. God, I hate thoughts and prayers. That helps. You're thinking about them and praying. They have this carefree, careless attitude. Seems that it can't happen here. Okay? Oh, we can't. It won't happen here. We can't. It's not going to happen here. Couldn't happen here. I know that in America, citizens are already in an uproar. They're divided once again. We got the left hating the right. We got the right hating the left. We have Muslims, Americans hating white Americans and Catholic or Christian Americans. Lines are drawn everywhere, Andy. Religion, class, color, creed, with eyes wide open. No, not that creed. All right. Divide and conquer. Holy, we're doing a good job of it. We're doing a really good job of it. All on our own. So have you been online lately? I was there this morning. In fact, if you want to get technical, in fact, the Hamas-style type of attack that happened 3 weeks ago could happen in the United States. And a failure, it could not only happen here, but a failure to even consider the possibility amongst our policymakers and within our intelligence and law enforcement agencies. That's a grave mistake, if you ask me. I mean, I'm not being an alarmist or anything, but I'm just being realistic. Okay? Israel appeared, okay? They appeared to be completely surprised. I mean, oh my goodness, what the hell? Completely surprised on October 7th when this Hamas attack happened. This despite the widely acclaimed powerless of Israel's intelligence service. You know, it's like, we got the best intelligence service in the world. And it's despite the enormity of the Hamas terror operation that they knew about, they know about it. Despite the year-long blockade of Gaza, which supposedly controls what goes in, what comes out. Of that whole region. And despite Israel's development of some of the most cutting edge spyware technology in the world, Andy, in the world they have it, in the world. How could they be caught on October 7th so flat-footed? And they moved the concert venue just 3 days. No, I'm wrong. And he's like 2 days. Just 2 days before the attack. Boy, oh boy. Sure gives ample space for more than just a few conspiracy theories, don't you think? I mean, come on. Maybe it was more, I mean, really, how could they be have caught? They have the best intelligence in the world. They have that spy dome. They have everything, okay? Hamas has tunnels. They're just caught. What the hell? We didn't know anything was coming. Maybe it was more likely an explanation that Israel had become too compliant for too long. Hamas had cried wolf, bark, bark, with no follow-through. How many times? You know, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Like the dogs in that meme or that video of whatever, TikTok or whatever, where you see the fence and the dogs are just like going crazy, and then you open the fence and they're like buds. Then you close the fence. But yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Not only that, but the Gaza border was well fortified, unlike our own. Thousands pour through every day. Who knows what they're bringing over here? Things have been so quiet for so long over there. And that's where I think that's where America must sit up and take notice. I mean, complacency, just being complacent, just la-di-da, oh yeah, everything's cool, everything's groovy, you know, everything's fine, feeling groovy. That is the first enemy of counterterrorism. Think about it. America's been really fortunate since 9/11. The fear of a significant terror attack on our soil, the fears have actually subsided as memories of 9/11 fade. And it's surprising how they fade, because when I was a kid growing up, I was reminded weekly about World War II, and I just was. My parents fought in it. So, but now we don't even realize what's, they don't remember what's going on. So, I mean, the president, God damn, man, his failure to even acknowledge, when he was talking from the Oval Office, hi, I'm at the Oval Office, everybody be cool, we need money to fight war on 14 fronts. What do we got? The border, Ukraine, Israel. That's 3 fronts. Right there. He didn't even acknowledge that there might be a threat on our own soil as we watch events unfold daily on the news. He didn't even acknowledge anything. It's like, yeah, it happened over there. Which kind of lets me think that, the people under him aren't pretty complacent either. They're not like, yeah, we don't care. La-di-da. They're like Chris Farley. La-di-da. Just sitting around here. Who knows about the terrorist attacks? I think the most startling of all of this, though, when you watch and you watch it, I think the most startling factor in the whole thing was the way that Hamas attacked on the ground. They deployed a tactic that had not been seen before, at that scale anyway. In that, they flung a bunch of well-armed young men who had nothing to lose by the air in those little in the residential areas. Concert again. just armed young packs of wolves, packs of young men that killed with a savagery that shit. Even the most counter-terrorists, and we've seen it all, they said, but they're like, we ain't see anything like this. Who? The counter-terrorism experts. That's who. That's who said that. They said, we didn't see any carnage like this ever. And what's the most disturbing of all of that? If the history of terrorism, now let's just think about it for a minute. The history of terrorism, their terrorism tactics. If history teaches us anything at all, it's that when a new terror tactic is deployed, and it has reasonable success, then that only stands to reason that it's going to remain in a fashion of sorts to be seen. Every terrorist organization in the world right now is saying, wow, that's a pretty good idea. Let's just get a pack of wolves and send them out armed, kill as many people till we get killed. It was successful. They're willing to die. Right, Andy? They're willing to die. The whole fact of giving guns to gangs of young men for a cause, right? To simultaneously run around in groups and start shooting unsuspecting masses is now. All of that we've seen the last 3 weeks, it's now a tactic that's going to be mimicked, like it or not, by other terrorist groups that see it that it was successful. We have so many shootings in this country anyway. You say Lewiston, Maine, was it 18, 19? This guy just... But yeah, we already have that problem in America with the shootings. We have more shootings in this country than anywhere else in the world. We're not a war zone, but it's perceived almost like that with the amount of people that are you know. But the border, the other thing I got to say is the Gaza border. Now remember, the Gaza border is secure. Okay? It was, it is, it's secure. You just can't waltz off the border. Not like you can on our border. That's why they flew in. I find it amazing how they did it. Looks like they have big old fans that you'd have in the construction site in the warehouse in chairs. I know it looks funny, but it's not. But geez, it's like, my God. Our borders, on the other hand, have they have over thousands coming over every day. I mean, who knows what's already here? I mean, think about it. These guys had like fans from your construction site strapped to a chair with an umbrella on the top, with machine guns flying in. Okay, that was in America. They don't have to do that. They just got to walk across the border. Like I said, who knows what's coming over the border every day? Who knows what's already here? It's a disaster waiting to happen. It's just a matter of time, I think, Andy. It's just a matter of time. Again, okay? We've seen terrorism on our soil. We've seen 9/11. We saw Oklahoma City. We saw, what else, Andy? Unabomber be terrorism. We've seen homegrown terrorism when we've also seen Saudi nationals fly planes. That's who they were. So it's just a matter of time. It's like, well, hell, we don't have to fly with construction site fans. We can just walk over the border. And walk over the border they do. So, our president thinks that we can fight a war on three fronts, and I hope he's right. I am not a hankering to think that we can do that. But I'm not the president. Not even on Halloween. I know. It's just, it's just we ignore the obvious in this country all the time. You know, we're number one in homeless, and yet I see on social media how they complain about the homeless. Don't do anything about it, but complain, but we're number one. Crime's another one. Yeah, throw everybody and lock them up, even for little stuff. We'll start giving the death penalty for shoplifting. It's like we already have number one incarceration rate in the world, so yeah, we're ripe for something, Andy. I'm telling you, man. You know, they don't have to fly those, construction site fan things over. They can just walk over the border, buy a car, drive up to Chicago or wherever. I know. Yeah, I'm going to get it. Got it right here. I'm telling you, I was surprised that you were. Saturday, we're going to go with that. Saturday, I'm watching, what game was I watching? I was watching, I believe, the Wisconsin-Ohio State game on NBC. Yeah, it was a big Saturday. Next Saturday, it'll be Michigan and Purdue at the big house. But anyway, I'm watching TV and a big line comes along the road. Matthew Perry, 54, found dead this weekend. He was found dead in his jacuzzi. I liked Matthew Perry. I liked him. TMZ first reported it, first broke it. All the other media picked it up, so I know if people are, TMZ's not reputable. Everybody's got it now. It's, Matthew Perry was playing pickleball. And it was one of his favorite. He raved about it, I guess. And that's what I was reading. It's like, yeah, it's my favorite. I don't even know what pickleball is, but whatever it is, let's go play some. Said that the actor and his assistant and some other people returned back to his house. His assistant out to run a few errands for him. When he returned, boy, our beloved boy was dead. He was found unresponsive in his jacuzzi, probably winding down. Appeared to have drowned. Law enforcement sources told TMZ again that the first responders were responding to a call for an adult cardiac arrest, 50-year-old male. Perry was not taken to a hospital, which means he died on scene. Matthew's spoken extensively about his addiction, about his drugs, about his alcohol problems. I like to mention other people that do podcasts, other people that find success, that are in recovery, that are addicts. I am a former addict myself, alcoholic, so I like Matthew. His tell-all memoir that he wrote, Friends, Lovers, and The Big Terrible Thing, was a good read. It shared his, I guess the whole time he did Friends as Chandler Bing, he was on Vicodin and on coke and on, drinking and so, he fought with the addiction. As with myself, recovery doesn't always happen the first time. It always doesn't happen overnight. It takes work. All reports, sources, so far anyway, report that no drugs were found at the scene. And there was no sound, no sign of foul play. Yeah, I love Chandler. He's my favorite Friends guy. He's funny guy. Love him. Sad. Andy, what's today? Devil's Night. Today's Devil's Night. Monday Night Football. Lions hosting the Raiders for Monday Night Football. Taking the Lions by 14. Hutchinson's going to have a big night. So, everybody, be cool tonight. We're going to wind it up, and he's giving me the go sign. So, Lions Raiders tonight, playoffs, college football playoffs, first ranking come out tomorrow. Adopt, don't shop. Come on. Spay and neuter, everybody. You know the drill. Foster, rescue, volunteer. Hey, come on. Adopt a shelter pet today. All right? Be safe on Halloween. Be safe on Devil's Night. Don't be burning any houses down. And until next week, Andy, we're out of here. We're out of here. Have a great Halloween. Have a great Devil's Night.